What is wildlife at home? Wildlife at Home is both a citizen science website and a multifaceted wildlife ecology computer vision research project. Project researchers use hidden cameras to record the activity occurring at bird nesting sites within our region. These videos are then streamed from the Wildlife at Home website to the home computers of our citizen science volunteers who live all over the world. After watching these videos, our volunteers use the tools provided by the Wildlife at Home website to document the animals present in each video and their behaviors. For example, a volunteer would watch this video showing a clutch of grouse chicks leaving the nest. Then the volunteer would document this behavior using the website tools. How does Wildlife at Home help scientists make new discoveries in biology?
Wildlife at Home helps the scientists, particularly wildlife biologists in this case, learn about bird behaviors and what's happening throughout the incubation period. By having a whole bunch of people watch the video, it allows us to figure out what behaviors occur, how often they occur, what time of the day they occur, as well as how birds interact with different predators. Problem is there's so much data to go through, we can't do it by ourselves. So the public, the students, everybody who contributes helps us filter it faster so we can use this information to make better conservation decisions and in a more timely fashion.
What exciting discoveries do you hope to find using Wildlife at Home?
We hope to learn novel behaviors about birds, things we didn't know they did at the nest or during the incubation period. We're interested in learning what different kinds of predators actually consume eggs of nesting birds. Nest cameras are a way that we can figure out quite a bit of that and has already shed some light on different kinds of predators and how the birds react to those predators. Do they really quickly get out of there, or do they try to defend the nest and use different distraction displays or actually attack the predator, and in what circumstances? So we hope to understand these behaviors, and that would be the new discoveries that your students can help us make.
To me, the most exciting discovery that can come out of the Wildlife at Home project is that we can show that a network of citizen scientists can be incredibly valuable using simple things like their own laptop or their personal computer at home to help scientists at places like universities answer some of these real driving questions that we're facing today.
What sort of exciting things can students learn from using Wildlife at Home?
By participating in Wildlife at Home, students and the public can learn about bird behaviors. They get a chance to understand what does a bird do during this time of its life that's so important to future generations or future populations of birds. They can also learn about predator-prey interactions. So how do these birds respond to different predators? What predators are there? And what might that mean for populations of birds over the long term and the population dynamics of those birds?
By getting students involved in the Wildlife at Home project, we're hoping to increase their success in areas of science, technology, engineering, and math, mostly by showing them that they can have a personal interest that they become invested in these projects with. It gives them an excuse, or more than an excuse, it gives them a reason to actually learn the science, to actually learn the biology. If they can relate it to things that they're personally interested in, that they're personally invested in, then it's going to be much more meaningful to them. And ultimately, that's one of the things that I really hope to see come out of this project.
So in terms of computer science, everything on Wildlife at Home is open source. So you can go on GitHub, you can look at the Wildlife at Home project, and all of our source code that does everything for the project is there. So this is a great opportunity if somebody's a young computer scientist or wants to learn about programming to get involved in a project. We're completely open to that. So I think, at least in terms of the computer science, there's a huge potential for, if anybody wants to get involved in learning about computer vision, machine learning, volunteer computing, there's a lot of options there.
Can you tell me more about the Wildlife at Home curriculum modules?
So the Wildlife at Home curriculum modules are things that we are currently in the process of developing, and we're looking at kind of having a three-tiered structure to those. We're looking at having a K through 5 structure, we're looking at a middle school structure, and a high school structure. with those, our goal is to go through the, and we're using the draft, the 2014 draft of the North Dakota standards. We're identifying specific standards and then essentially developing lesson plans geared at each of those standards. So for example, the grade 5 curriculum has a standard that addresses the flow of energy and matter in an ecosystem. We're using Wildlife at Home to show students how to develop a working hypothesis where they construct their own idea about a food web within an ecosystem. They then use the videos that we have on the site to test that hypothesis and evaluate its accuracy. If they're correct, that's great. If they weren't correct, for example, if we don't have a video of a predator that they thought might be a grouse predator eating a nest, does that mean that they are wrong? The answer is no. And so we try to use this to get students involved, to actually see real science in progress and go through the process of it themselves. And we do that, we're working at developing standards for individual curriculum standards identified in the 2014 draft.
Citizen scientists, volunteers for Wildlife at Home. Your help is very much needed.
So we're really looking forward to just having anybody who's interested in the project participate. We have online forums where you can discuss anything that's going on with the project with me or any of the other project scientists. And the more the merrier. The more people we can get working on this and looking or having fun with this and looking at this video, that's just wonderful.
We encourage you to sign up for the project and work with the student modules that we have in order to get students interested in wildlife conservation, computer vision, and computer science type aspects. They'll get a chance to learn all of that and participate doing real science that we as researchers at the university really need.